So as of today, I've made the conscious choice to start a YouTube channel. Now, what does that mean? Now, it means basically I'm going to try my best to post as many videos that are interesting as possible. Does that mean I'm going to try to make money off of YouTube? No. Does that mean I'm going to go hardcore and be the best YouTuber out there? Probably not. So basically, I just feel like I have some stories to tell that YouTube could be a good platform for. I have countless hours of footage, and all I really need to do is put it somewhere. So YouTube seems like the right place to do that. So what's it going to look like? It's going to look chaotic. It's probably going to have my kids in it. It's probably going to have like my dog running around. It's going to have crying children. It's going to have my messy office. It's going to have bad lighting, bad audio, bad editing, and eventually it's going to come around and turn into something. So I'm really excited to just kind of like watch it evolve and see where it goes. So first up, I'm going to talk about how I packed for my Kakwa Wildland Epic. This is footage that I took while I was on the trip, and I've kind of curated it to talk about a trip like this. So kind of like a trip that deals with so many different terrains. So you have pavement, you have rough pavement, you have gravel, you have single track, you have no track. And again, I don't really know what I'm doing in regards to YouTube. So I'm going to do my best, try to entertain a few people, tell some stories, and hopefully you will let me know how it goes. Cheers.
All right, so beginning of day 3, I got up at 6, as I tend to do these days. And so today, Tyler's gonna make his way here. He's on his way now. He's messaged me. I got it through the Garmin, and he's got a little bit of a resupply. Also, my new frame bag from Thief that came in a day too late. So now I'll have a full frame bag. I kind of got to change some things around is what that means. There's going to be more food, but 2 people. We have 1 more night, so I think we can ditch tents because there's a cabin at Kakwa Lake. And I managed to go this far without needing one. Yeah, I got to do some tearing down, waiting for Ty to get here, and then kind of putting it all back together. Good opportunity to talk about how I've been doing things so far, and kind of where things have been going right now. Is kind of a poor example because I have everything just splayed out all over the table, but really that's because I'm going to try to figure out where some things are going to live. The first 2 days have been essentially pavement and rough pavement and gravel, so I've been able to pack a little differently. Now I'm gonna have to think about single track, rough trails, lots of bouncing around, so I have to really tighten things up and make sure that nothing's bouncing around, nothing's gonna end up rubbing tires. So let's talk about that, and I'll just go off because yeah, I got the power of editing. Let's go. All right, so so far this is what we're looking at. We're looking at a half frame bag. We're looking at, right now, my chamois, my shirt is all kind of sitting here drying. I use a hydration bladder on big trips and a vest. Really, I find it really works well for just saving a little bit of space. I don't like to keep anything on my back except for that. All right, so what I have, we'll go from back to front, I guess. Right now I have the Arrow system with the spider cradles, 2 of them, and then this large Arrow stuff sack. What I keep in here is my sleep system. So right now I have sleeping mat, which I put back, I'll shove my sleeping bag in here, and I think I'll be able to go without a tent. So they'll really free up some space. Often I'll also chuck my raincoat at the very top of this, so that if I need it quickly, I can grab it. And down here is where I've been keeping food, which proved, I mean, it worked well, but when I hit that really rough gravel, and because I was kind of running out of food, things got a little loosey-goosey down here. So I really would like to take this off and find a place for us to share food. Also, one thing that I'm really going to have to consider, I think, is trying to lift this guy up, just kind of loosen these and tilt it a little more horizontal. Just for this rough trail, I don't want the bags to eventually knock themselves down and start rubbing, which is a possibility. Of course, next is I have my Brooks saddle, which is well worn in. I've tilted it down for this trip a little more than I normally have it, basically because I'm riding with aero bars and it's harder on the taint if I don't. So that's tilted down a bit. I have a dropper post, which I've yet to have to worry about or use at all because of the terrain. Might need it a little bit potentially in the next day or today, I guess. But yeah, we'll see. Then we have this guy, which is a thief. Can't remember the name. There's like a snack and a lunch. Snack bag and a lunch bag. I think this is the lunch bag. Hope I didn't get that wrong. I don't use this guy too often, but because it didn't have a full frame bag, I put it on the back side of my bike. I mean, I love the bag, but I don't like where it's at right now. It rubbed my legs kind of the whole way, and it didn't really bother me physically, but it just, the sound of it rubbing on my chamois all for 2 days straight annoyed me. So I really want to try to get rid of that, and maybe we can make up that space here. We'll see. Then I have the Restrap top tube bag, which I did a review on a while back, so I'm blessed to have that. I'm really actually enjoying it for this. It's got so much structure, holds up so high, and is working really well for the things that I'm putting in it. What am I putting in these? So I have in here, I have like a tiny little repair kit, which again I usually put on the bottom of a full frame bag. I have a tube, I have some matches, I have a puncture repair, and I have a pump and a little tire gauge and some zip ties. Yeah. This guy, I have my goldfish, I have a lighter, I have my, kind of like my med kit, which has my medication and some allergy medication and some ibuprofen and Tylenol. Normally it doesn't stay here, just kind of out of whack from last night. So it'll go with my little toiletry kit, which I can walk it over to there right now. My Thief toiletry kit, which keeps my contact lenses, my toothbrush, which is somewhere, and a little thing of toothpaste, and my meds, and apparently an extra rubber band in case one of my computer mounts snap. Moving on to this half frame bag. This is pretty much all snacks. It's got some chain lube in here, which was up here, but made the bag wider and annoyed me, so I put it down here. I usually keep fire starter back in here, which you can see some toilet paper, which I can also use as toilet paper. Just snacks, and more snacks. There's my little bit of fire starter there, dryer lint, and a tiny little med kit, which again would normally go down there. It's up here. That is my Thief half frame bag, which I love. Then I have my Thief bear spray holder, which holds my bear spray. I keep it on my drive side, easy access at all times. Unfortunately didn't need it yesterday, even though I thought I might need it. It's kind of a spooky day yesterday, not gonna lie. These are my Thief watering holes. I have two. Kind of the cockpit starting here. Fortunate enough to have this guy this trip, the X100 V1 bad with Roman numerals. And then what I do is I usually stuff a couple of batteries down there, I was concerned because I didn't know this camera very well, and it did seem to chew batteries up. So I packed a bunch this trip. So I got 2 in there, and then in this guy, I got a whole sleeve of batteries, 2, 3, 4, and then I also keep. Just look this up. You can see there's like a little. Oh, hang on. You can see there's a little plastic bag, like triple, doubled, triple, quadrupled, which is where I keep extra memory cards for the GoPro and an extra memory card for my camera. I also keep my GoPro in there for the most part. Sometimes I tuck it up here with my 7 mesh jacket, and then kind of snacks just sit here. Like I can shove gummy worms or Swedish berries or whatever in these little crevasses when everything's packed up. On the sides, I keep kind of some things that I need quickly. These are kind of here because, well, I don't know, they were loosey-goosey, so I just shoved them in there at the end of yesterday. But I have bug spray, chapstick, multi-tool. This is my camp towel, which is now not attached to it, but that's where I keep it, and it kind of tucks away out of the way. This side currently has nothing, but normally I'll keep some soap in there, some garbage. Yeah, my soap is right there. Some garbage, a lighter, potentially. Lighter? Yeah, I mean, that's really it. Then I have light mounted, which I mean, it's really long days here in northern Canada, so I haven't really used it at all. Just an Amazon light, which I love, like 1,000 lumens. That USB-C came with a tail light too. It was like $40 and lasts like a month, honestly. 7 mesh jacket, as I mentioned. Then up front I have the Aero cradle, which is where I keep all my clothes. Currently I have like it sorted based on kind of like in reverse order. So at the very back I'll have like a t-shirt and some shorts and a new pair of underwear for when the trip's over, and I can be clean. A pair of socks you can see rolling around there right now, and then I kind of like pack it accordingly based on reverse. The thing that I'll have at the ready is like a warm coat, so, and like these goofy Costco insulated wintry long johnies, like just from a position standpoint. But I love them. I mean, I'm a little sore in the shoulders, like I've ridden on them 70% of the time so far. I mean, I do feel like I'll be riding wide bar for the rest of this trip, but I'm not going to take these off because I built this handy dandy little cockpit mounted I don't know, computer mount slash GPS mount slash light mount. So I keep my Garmin Edge 1030 here, and then I kind of rigged up. This is a bottle mount that allows you to move your bottle cages down, which I got at the bench bike shop in Jasper a couple years ago. I chopped it, and it's got a little tiny hole in it, and then I taped it, or electrical taped it, to this little homemade mount that I made. So how I mount my Garmin InReach, which is kind of a tricky thing to mount. You know, you can buy mounts and they're expensive, but I use just the screw that holds the lanyard on, and then I take it off, which I mean seems like it might be a big issue, but really it's not. Like I hand tighten it, and then I pull up my multi-tool and give it like 1/8 of a turn, and it's snug, and then it just twists right off at the end of the day. One thing I do wish that I would have done, which I'll probably do next time, is bring the little lanyard guy, or maybe like put some sort of a string on there, because I really do miss having that. I actually electrical taped this to a tree 2 nights ago, because it's got to be outside for service, and I usually keep it like close to my tent, or I mean my outhouse or wherever I'm staying, so that I can get messages or send messages at any time. So yeah, I'll probably figure that out next time. Which kind of leads me back to one part of the bike, which I forgot to mention, is that little roll of electrical tape, which I find super important for just random things. I always have a roll of electrical tape. Sometimes I'll wrap it around my bottles, but yeah, this time I just brought a roll. Yeah. I think that's everything in regards to the bike. I made this mount out of, I teach math, so I made this out of what was like 8 math manipulatives. They fit perfectly, and then I just electrical taped them all together and then cut holes in 2 of them and then zip tied it and then electrical taped it. Not the prettiest thing, but also like looks pretty good. It's black, it matches. From a bike standpoint, on this trip, I'm riding the Panorama Taiga. I mean, we're going to call this a hardtail mountain bike right now. It was sent to me with rigid forks, and then I got the Fox 34 step cast 120 mil of travel, which have been awesome. I mean, no problems at all. Mounted them up really quickly. Everything was smooth and seamless. I am slightly concerned about the clearance for today. This fender might have to come off. These tires are large. These are Maxxis Recon 2.6s, 29s. I am also probably, though, going to take some air out of the tires today. Race face, crankset, Shimano components, XT, which have been shifting really, really well. I love this bike. It's definitely doing the job. For this trip, it's perfect. This bike was able to do well on the hardpack on the road with these Recons. I think I got these at like 30 psi right now, which is a lot, but I want it to roll fast. And then I know it's going to handle itself well once I hit the rugged stuff today. I've converted these tires to tubeless, and so far, so good. That's everything. It's a 16-minute video.